it's the Boise State alum, J.J. And he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Wentz now on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So a tough early challenge here, 2nd and long after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz completes it to Aguilar. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Come on. Go. 20.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Down and man inside, down and man. Shorty.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. This is Ajayi, and he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Wentz now on 3rd and goal. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big... Turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Dude, we're going to 54. Why?
On 2nd down, Elliott. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. On 3rd down, it's Austin, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down.
Here you go. 26.
They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. Looking for Moncrief, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
The coverage that time was unbelievable the whole way around. I mean, you've got a quarterback just standing back there in the pocket. He had all night to survey the field, and he still couldn't find anybody. And when he finally did throw it, he threw it to the other team.
And some room to maneuver. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's Wentz to throw. Hurts has it left side. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
This one, two. Shorty.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They start on the ground with Elliott. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Sproles, the return. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, Let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going, and also you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. On second down, here's Wentz. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. Third down.
Great 15. Great 15.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Here we go. Hey, which one? Empty.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches.
82.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A first down for the Eagles. Wentz finding the former Raven Wallace.
Ram.
It's Pumphrey on the toss. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Come on now. Let's go. 82.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. Go. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
So it's still 1st and goal, but now they get to try from a bit closer.
Ram.
They'll try to run with a jag. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Here's Ajayi. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Elliott puts this one through. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Good.
Prescott on first down, and this is going to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Prescott from the gun. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Prescott now. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Great 15. Run.
Wentz now on first down. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Good. Here we go. 46. Here we go. Get that. Let's go. Get out. Get out. Switch. Switch. Hey. 26. Here we go. 47. 26.
Following the interception, here's Prescott going deep for Moncrief. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 47. Here we go. 46. Here we go. 46. 26. 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go. 46. Here we go. Get that. Let's go. Get out. Get out. Here we go. 46. 46. Here we go. 46. 26.
Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
So after the INT, here's Wentz, eluding the pressure right, and his pass incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wentz going to throw. He sets to fire deep. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability.
Well, someone has a sense of the dramatic here, don't they? Scoring this late in the half to take the lead going into the locker room.
Now they just don't want to misstep misfortune on the next kickoff because there's still a little bit of time left on that clock.
Yeah, you do have to bring that up, don't you? In the NFL, every play is critical. And if you give up something cheap there, all that advantage they just gained goes right out the window.
And out now come the Eagles. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Looking to throw. Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46. Here we go, 5-8. Here we go, 46, 46. Here we go, 46. 26.
Prescott to throw it. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here we go, 46, 46. Here we go, 4-8. Gun. 26.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Going deep for Moncrief. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Sproles. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense. And
now here's another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
46, 26, good. 26.
First down, Prescott. And this one is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
46. Get out. Good. Here we go, 46. 26.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
47. 26. Here we go, 46. 26.
3rd and long for Prescott. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jordan Hicks. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They start on the ground with Pumphrey. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Eagles on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6.
81. Shorty.
To throw is Wentz. He hits his running back, Jay Ajayi. That one good for 15 and a first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They run with Ajayi. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Ram. Shorty.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Ertz has it left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down.
Line. 81. Run.
Now Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. From midfield, here's Wentz. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On the run, it's Pumphrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. Working from the gun, Wentz. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. He's at the 30, 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told him, they told us, and he will go down. A Cowboy sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Shorty.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left. And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him a gain of 38. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gibson. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the time.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. The first throw for the backup Foles. And the pressure gets to him again.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Here's Wentz to throw. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Again, it's Elliott. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. The give is to Elliott. Room here to run. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They go play action here on 1st down. Going deep for Moncrief. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dante Moncrief, 51 yards. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Well, after their wild card round game last week, you and I said, well, they played pretty well. Maybe they got a shot at keeping this one close. They've done more than keep this one close.
Yeah, they've made quite a statement, haven't they? And I don't know if it was the week off that hurt this defense, but they've been flat from the get-go, and that's always a coach's fear. Okay, you earn the open week, but you wonder how they'll respond with that extra time off.
Yeah, it seems like they've been running uphill all game. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Lion.
Now a play fake. Wentz. He's going to let this one go deep. It's caught inside the 25. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Wentz. Flush to his right. Now a desperation throw deep down. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Darren Sproles, 83 yards. And the Eagles get a score closer. Elliott good on the extra point, and it makes the score 21-10. 2 scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to be met at about the 43. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll go Elliott again. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. So with that miss, Charles, you have to figure their fate. It might be sealed.
Yeah, you needed 2 scores. So you take the field goal first and then worry about getting the ball back. But that may not matter now.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. Flushed out right. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off Byron Jones. Oh, he's got some breathing room. There he goes, right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They'll begin the drive with a J. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. One final try now for Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone, as time has run out on this.